Information to help you run your business better and improve your marketing campaigns. My name is Hank Hoffmeyer, and thank you for joining me on Hank's Marketing and Business Tips. Welcome to episode 261 of the Hmbt podcast. Today, I'm joined by Irene Diamond. She calls herself a pain reliever and mover improver for businesses and bodies because she helps both get out of pain and moving. Love that phrase. I'm always telling people to come up with great ways to introduce themselves or to talk to people if you're stuck in an elevator with them, and that's great. She has founded the California's first wellness center, Diamond Pain Relief and Wellness, that enjoys referrals from other healthcare providers from across the country. And I've had previous guests talk about referrals, and maybe we could talk about that today. That is something we are going to discuss, so hopefully we could dig into that. She also leads seminars and trainings for clinicians on the rehabilitation methods that she developed, active myofascial therapy, the Diamond method. So they too can have a powerful ability to provide fast, effective, life-changing results for their clients and patients. She also mentors and provides consulting services to the massage, physical therapy, chiropractic, and other wellness practices to attract affluent, appreciative clients through her Dream Practice Mastery Academy. We'll talk more about that later. She's a frequent guest author for many professional massage, physical therapy, and orthopedic publications and associations, probably makes her an expert. And she's also an in-demand speaker and presenter sharing business growth strategy and clinical education. So it is a privilege to have you on the show today. Sounds like you have a wealth of knowledge, and it kind of gets us out of the norm of email marketing, social media, and general sales. I appreciate you being here today to have this discussion with me.
Hey, Hank. Fabulous to be here. And I'm glad to be able to bring it a little from a different angle, because as you've been interviewing other healthcare providers, and some of your audience is among that group, we all learned what to do clinically. And most of us had no idea how to run a business, how to run a practice, how to market, how to get clients and patients. So we think, if we learn what to do with our hands or clinical reasoning, all the patients will flow in. Sometimes they do, most of the time they don't. Right. And that's sort of where I come from now, as I help practitioners and providers, and it translates over. I've worked with people who cut hair. I've worked with car mechanics. It's all the same. Right? Everybody wants affluent clients, no matter what the industry.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of common ground when it comes to marketing, whether you're in, service, you sell a product, you're a professional, like say a doctor or something, it doesn't matter what you do. You need clients, and you need to have a marketing mindset, and you need to get yourself referrals. You need to get references, reviews, all these things. And it really comes down to your mindset and what you're doing. And I love how before we got on air, we were talking about how to stand out from the crowd and how to get perfect fit clients. A lot of times people just are redundant with their messaging, right? They'll send an email, they'll post to social media and hope clients are going to come to them. And then also they're just saying, I'm just going to take anyone because a dollar is a dollar. And in some ways that's wrong. Maybe it's not holistically wrong. You're in business, maybe you're making money, but are you doing it the right way? Are you getting and attracting clients, and are they good fit clients? In other words, like for me, if somebody wanted me to help them with their email marketing and their budget was $100 and they wanted me to work 40 hours a week for them, that's just not a good fit for me. Yeah, it'd give me a little bit of money, but I think the time to income ratio there is a little skewed. Maybe that was a horrible example, but I think everybody gets what I'm talking about. So let's talk about standing out from the crowd when you're a business owner or a professional. What information do you have, and what tips can you give us in respect to that?
Sure. So let me just back up a little bit and say, at the beginning, I think it's fine to take anybody and everybody when you're starting your business, because you may not know who your niche is or who your dream client really is. And so work with everybody. Take the clients, get experience, decide then from that experience who you like working with, who you don't like working with. And then you can start, sifting through. I have something called a client selection triangle. So if everybody wants to just grab a piece of paper right now, and it's really pretty simple.
I
So
bet you didn't think this was going to be a hands-on podcast episode, folks.
I know, here we go. I can't help but teaching, but so draw a triangle, everybody, on a piece of paper. Simple. You got 3 points to your triangle. So this is your client selection triangle. It's like a filter that when you meet somebody new, you're going to put them through this filter. If the answer is yes, a check for all 3 corners, great. Invite them into your practice. If one part of that triangle is missing, you might want to reconsider saying yes to booking an appointment or scheduling them or getting them into your program or whatever it is you're selling. So the first one, really simple. Do you like them? So when I first started, there were people I didn't like. There were clients who maybe didn't have the right feel, or I didn't vibe with them, or for whatever reason, it wasn't a great fit, but I was starting. So I took their money, I booked their appointments. And again, when you're starting, cool, go ahead and do that. As you become more experienced, then you get the luxury of being able to fine tune who you work. So do you like them? And, you know, yes, there are professional boundaries. So you might want to think, would they be somebody you'd invite over to your home for dinner? And if it's yes, perfect. They get one of the 3. Second thing is, it's 2 points. Do they have something you can either relieve or help them achieve? So the second corner of your triangle, relieve or achieve. So in other words, do they have a problem you can help them solve? Do they have a goal you can help them achieve? So if you're in the weight loss business, if you know how to help people lose 100 pounds, great. If you don't know how to help people lose 100 pounds, but you know how to train somebody for a marathon, they're not a good fit for you. So they don't match. So refer them to somebody else who's a better fit. The third part of the triangle is a little controversial, but it's basically, can they afford? So you can do the dollar sign or afford. Can they afford your services? I tend to work with people who are more affluent. So my fees are higher. So people coming in to work with me, if they are looking for, air quotes, the cheapest, they're not a fit for me. If they can afford my services, if they can afford to work with you and not nickel and dime and not try to bargain you, then they get the 3rd check mark. Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of people like to give back to their communities. So when we're in business, we have to be financially stable and secure. Right. And then we can donate our services, or we can offer scholarships, or we can reduce our fees at our choice. So it's not only about working with rich people or, you know, very wealthy people. It's about people who want what you have. You know, you can help them. You like them. They can afford your services. So if they get checks for all 3 of those, then invite them in. I teach a concept called the precise private practice, but it can be the same again for a law firm or financial advisors. Precise private practice, you invite into your practice the people who are a precise fit, right, as opposed to an open to the public practice. So as we start to, again, fine tune who our dream clients are, we're able to be more selective, which just truly opens up so much potential, because then you're happier, the clients are happier, it's a win-win all the way around. They get better results, they tell more people, that those people write better reviews for you. You don't ever have to worry about a bad online review. Why? Because you're not working with a quantity of people, you're working with a smaller group, more quality people.
So when you really told me about the triangle, it reminded me of the term trifecta, right? And it reminds me of horse racing. It's always hard to hit the trifecta. So the question, and I know you simply said earlier, take what you can in the beginning, but how hard is it to find these perfect fit clients? Is it a lot of work, and is it hard to really find these raging fans or raving fans that some people might call them, because they're going to be a great fit. They're going to come in, they're going to get great service or a great product, and they're going to rate and review you accordingly. Do you think it's very hard to get that in volume, to get that type of attraction and volume?
That's a good question. I think the answer is it's only hard if the business owner is not clear about what they offer. And really, what do they help people relieve or achieve? That's primary. So I had a girl in my coaching class the other day. She said, I want to do a digital online program. I was like, great. What do you want the program to do for people? Well, she hadn't thought about that yet. So I said, okay, come back to me after you know what you want the program to solve, or to, help them relieve or help them achieve. That's where it starts. So if we know that as business owners, if we really know what we can do for people, and it has to be an urgent problem.
Right.
So it can't be something that, oh yeah, maybe I'll get to it down the road, because there's no urgency. So then there's no motivation really, or very low motivation for the client to decide to invest time and money and energy and all of that. So it's not difficult once they're very clear on who they can help, who they want to help, and how to help.
Right. For me, it reminds me of a meeting I was on this morning, and the speaker said, do you think people buy more when they're in pain or when they have a need? And, it was kind of split a little bit, but I think more people said pain, because like, I'm trying to solve something. I have a pain in marketing, or I have a pain in my arm. I want to solve that. Therefore, you're probably going to purchase something. If you have a need, yeah, you can, but it takes a little bit more convincing. And then also, I think for me, 1 in 3 would be the struggle, right? The solving that need, solving that pain, having a solution for me is easy. But number one, if I don't like you, maybe I might take you on, right? Or maybe if you don't have enough money to work with me, maybe people, or when I say me, I'm talking about business owners too. They might budge on the price, and then it's not a good fit, right? Because then that tends to develop the wrong type of relationship, because maybe I'm going to bring somebody on for a lower price or a lower budget. Maybe I'm going to do inferior work, and it's going to lead to a negative review, something like that, or they won't refer me. And it's important to, I guess, meet all three. And you drew that triangle so perfectly, right? It had four triangle had 4 quarters, 3 perfect corners on it. And like you said, they should meet all 3 of those. And I think that is a great way to remember, that's the client I want or need.
Right. I encourage everyone to just draw it out, stick it on your computer near your phone. So when you're making these phone calls to people who are prospects, you can simply go through it. So you can get energy. You can feel somebody, if they're aggressive, or if they're, whatever it is that just kind of rubs you the wrong way, then is it wrong to take them? I don't think it's wrong to accept them into your practice. And if we're trying to design our dream practice or a dream business, we want it to be filled with clients and customers that we're happy to work with.
Right.
Now, you mentioned something, Hank. If you want, we can talk about the pricing. Let's just say you're a photographer and you do a photo shoot for $5,000, and it includes, hair and makeup and wardrobe, the whole bit. Somebody comes to you and says, I can't afford $5,000. Well, it's not like you just say, okay, see you later. You certainly can have a conversation. What can you afford? Oh, well, my budget was about 1,000. Well, instead of hair, makeup, and this and that, you take care of that on your own. Come to me, we'll do the shoot. So there's certainly some negotiating and some modification.
Right.
That's something important. It's not just an all or nothing, see you later.
Right. And I was thinking in my mind, maybe if your perfect client to you is $5,000, but more $1,000 clients are to you, maybe you start selling 2 packages. One is everything, right? The makeup, lighting, everything. And then the other one is more of the budget offering. You start offering that. Just because you think you're worth $5,000 for what you're offering, maybe your market's telling you right now the demand is a little bit different. They always say, find a problem and solve that problem. Right now, I think people are struggling to really look good on Zoom, right? So offering packages around how to look good online, and social distancing, photography. If you could do that, some states I understand that you might not even be able to do that, like go to somebody's doorstep and do it on their door, but find a way to do it through Zoom. Maybe you can mail a 4K camera to somebody, and then do it over, like do screenshots over Zoom, so it's still high quality, and use, like the photographer will have a really good screen that they can screenshot, and then that gets mailed back again. So that might be a way for you to say that's $1,000 package versus the 5,000 in person. Find a way to solve a problem. And then I guess the first part of your triangle is, do you like somebody or not? I guess looking at why, why is this not a good fit? Why are we not liking each other? Is it just because of they talk because they're from New Jersey? And I joke about that because I'm from New Jersey. I'm in North Carolina now, but I'm from New Jersey. But I think of my accent's so watered down that the New Jerseyans don't accept me, and I'm not accepted in North Carolina as a Southerner. I'm just, not accepted anywhere. But some people, there used to be the good old boy network, whereas they worked with people that were local, or I guess it's called, local business. And how do you get over that? Well, you developed KLT, know, like, and trust, and maybe that'll help you like them more.
Sure. And so let's riff real quick on your concept of maybe you're attracting market that can afford 1,000. So that gets back to the marketing. If you want to attract clients who can afford 5,000, it starts from the message you're sending. It starts from your email, your digital presence. All of that illustrates, and even on a subconscious level, clients come to you hopefully having an understanding of, at least in the price continuum, of where you fit. Are you bargain basement? Are you middle of the road? Or are you luxury top of the line? That way you're attracting the right clients, of affluent people who can afford you and who are appreciative. Not everybody's looking for a bargain. Everybody's looking for good value, right?
Yes.
That's a big difference.
That's huge. And it's how you portray that value too, because maybe you do have high value to offer, but you're not marketing it correctly, and they don't see it as high value. There's that old thing with eBay years ago that people would say, buy something because it's 5 cents less than the other person who listed it. Is that always true? No. For me, I look at reviews. I look at where they're located to see when I'm going to get the item. If it's from China versus from Pennsylvania, I'm probably going to buy it from Pennsylvania, even if it's 5 cents more. It just comes down to positioning and value.
But not only 5 cents. What if it's $50 or $500 or $5,000? Again, how urgent is this problem that they want solved? How big a problem is it? I always say, the bigger the problem, the bigger the solution. Somebody has, again, chronic migraines. In my industry, I'm a migraine specialist, fibromyalgia specialist. If somebody has years and years of migraines or chronic pain, it's urgent. And it's something they've had for a long time. It's big. They might have tried every single thing out there, lotions and potions and healthcare providers. They come to me knowing, yes, my fees are expensive, but here's something that helps them say yes. I offer a 100% guarantee. Well, what is my guarantee? Am I guaranteeing they'll never have a migraine again? No, that would be silly, because everybody is different. But I guarantee that they will feel their time and their money was well spent.
I like that.
Now, I can do that because I've been in business for a long time, so I know what I'm capable of doing. And I pre-screen people well enough to know, I'm not taking anybody and everybody. I'm only taking those people who I feel comfortable I can help. Why? Because I don't want to waste my time and theirs and have them go, well, that wasn't really worth it. So again, when somebody's at that point where they're ready to finally handle the problem and take care of the problem once and for all, they want a confident provider. They want a business owner to offer them that solution and say, here, I feel comfortable, confident, secure in saying, yes, I can help you solve that problem.
And I bet part of that discussion, when you're talking about the triangle, especially if it's health related, is, are they positive? Because do they really want to solve their pain, their struggles, whatever they're going through? But if somebody just this always happens to me, I'm always feeling like this, I'm never going to feel better. I'm not saying that they're a lost cause and people shouldn't work with them, but those people probably would help you struggle with your guarantee.
Yes. Well, talking about healthcare, there's a concept called biopsychosocial. Bio, physical pain, biological, psychological, and the social elements all tie into that. So if somebody has chronic migraines, we have to look at what's going on psychologically with them. What kind of social support do they have? Are they out on the streets? Are they living in an abusive relationship? Are there just 12 kids and, not enough resources? So the psychology and the social aspects are 100% involved with the physical, biological pain in healthcare. But in any business, you're right. If somebody's thinking, oh, it'll never work for me,
right,
we as service providers, as problem solvers, should look really carefully and consider, do we want to bring them on? Otherwise, we're just one more person that didn't work, or one more program that didn't help them get where they wanted to go.
And then that happens in marketing. I've seen and worked with people that don't want to get out of the old ways of marketing, of buying lists and going into groups and just posting links of what they're selling, thinking that's the only way that works. And they contact me and say, I need more leads. I tell them the right way. They say, well, that's just too much work. Can you just help me get a list of groups and an email list? And
Yeah.
I choose not to work. They're not in my triangle, I guess I want to say.
Yeah. They didn't meet all 3 points. And also, even if you sold them a list, do they have the resources, or not the resources, the structure, the infrastructure, or are they going to just lose all those lists once they get on the phone with them, or have that ability to connect with those leads?
Can't really answer that, but I wish them luck. Let's talk a little bit about standing out from the crowd, because I know that's something that was of interest to me when I heard you're going to be on the show. How can we stand out from the crowd?
Yeah, we want to give our clients and our referring partners something to yak about. So I say yak because, people like to talk. If you go to a fabulous restaurant or you see a great movie, nobody has to pay you an affiliate commission to share it. You talk about it because it's great, because you want more people to experience it. So same thing with our businesses. We want to give our clients and our customers something to yak about. How do we do that? We have to stand out from the crowd. How do we do that? Lots of different ways. And it's not the boring thing that everybody always says, which is, great customer service, or we're really, we pay attention to you as an individual. Okay, that's great. But pretty much everybody says that. So we have to look and see what is unique about us. What does, in my experience and my situation, 100% satisfaction guarantee? That totally helps me stand out. I practice in San Francisco. San Francisco is very saturated. Well, I don't know any other provider, unless they've studied with me, who also offers 100% guarantee. So that, again, that's like, I'm the only one in the playing field. So each business owner has to think, what is it that helps them stand out from the crowd?
Right.
I can give you an example for, like 24-hour fitness. They're now in, I don't know, 12 different countries. Why? Because they broke the mold, and most gyms would close at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Well, they knew there were people who needed to work out after their graveyard shifts, or after they got off working at the restaurants or the hospitals. And so they created a facility that now people could go work out round the clock. Well, nobody did that before. That's what gave them that unique advantage. And therefore their members, their gym members, talked about them, and it went like hotcakes. So that's where people have to really look, what can they do that sets them apart?
Right. In other words, if somebody can't remember your name, how do you stand out? Because somebody will say something like, hey, I need a gym that I can go to at 2 a.m. And somebody might say, well, I know about this gym. I haven't been there, but somebody told me. But apparently they're all over the place and they're open 24 hours. And theoretically, if you search for those terms, hopefully the company's got it set up right where they would show up, in ads or the organic listing and go from there. It's like with iContact, one of the email platforms I work for, we strive on giving excellent customer service on phone, email, and chat mediums, which a lot of competitors don't have phone support. And if you're new to email marketing, or you feel like you need a lot of strategic or technical help, and speaking to somebody on the phone means something to you, then you would choose that platform.
Absolutely. No, it's funny because phone support used to be the thing that everybody offered. Now it's so unique. And you're exactly right. when I'm doing tech stuff, if they have phone support versus chat, I'm in, because I'm not a techie. So that to me is a big selling point. And 24-hour contact versus certain hours of the day, because I work at night, so there's lots of things that really help. Again, we have to identify who our dream clients are so we know what they want. If they're school teachers and they get off at 3 o'clock, well, if your business hours end at 5, you're going to lose a huge chunk of those people. So you need to accommodate who your dream clients are and figure out what they want, which will give them something to yak about.
Right.
Dog owners, right? The businesses that let the dogs come into the hair salon or into the restaurant or in, the cat cafes. Why are those so popular? Because cat lovers love to yak. Unique appeal to clients. What is your yak ability? Unique appeal to clients.
So if we went backwards and kind of rewinded this episode, what you want to do is find out what your customers need or potential customers need. How can you help them solve a problem or get over a challenge, or what is your market offering, right? Then you're going to go ahead and stand out from the crowd by developing, whether it's a statement, a service, customer service, whatever it is. And then you're going to use the triangle to make sure that your clients are fitting into the mold that you've made. That is that perfect customer that's going to not only make you money, but is going to refer you. They're going to give you glowing reviews, and they're just going to keep coming back for more if that's the type of business you're in. Does that sound like a good synopsis?
Perfect.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Well, Irene, if people wanted to get in touch with you, check out what you do, how can they do that?
Gotcha. So I've got a book coming up. Hopefully it'll be released in the next couple months, called Design Your Dream Practice. It's based on my 30 years of being in the trenches as a practitioner, as a pain relief specialist, and then also as a business mentor and consultant. So that'll hopefully be available soon, Design Your Dream Practice. And then because I'm so passionate about helping people find affluent, appreciative clients, people can sign up for just a super simple but effective online training, which is irenediamond.com/affluent.
So check out the book, Design Your Dream Practice, right? And check out the website. Links will be in the show notes, folks. I really appreciated you being here because we took a different angle on how to obtain clients, how to screen clients, and then more importantly, how to get them to yak about you or use the yak method, which definitely I need to spell out in the show notes because I think you and I talked about off air, you need to yak on your clients is what I said. It's different than verbally vomiting on them, folks. And we'll explain that in the show notes as well. Just make sure that you're finding that differentiator, what makes you different, unique, and why do we need to be working with you rather than your competitor, more than I'm cheaper and I have a better warranty or something like that. What is it specifically that makes you different? Folks,
can I throw in one last thing really important? If you want to know if you don't know what makes you unique, go on Yelp or on the online directories and look at your competition and look at the reviews that are the 1 stars or the 2 stars, see what they complain about and see if you can flip that around and use their clients' disappointments to your advantage.
There you go. What they do worst, you need to be doing best. I guess that's how you'd say that.
That's right.
Awesome. Folks, if you want to hear previous episodes, head over to hankhoffmeyer.com/Alexa. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Amazon Alexa, Google Play, Spotify, probably anywhere you listen to podcasts. I'm also on YouTube. This episode will be not live, but it will be recorded, and our lovely faces will be greeting you on YouTube. Hopefully you can check that out. Maybe subscribe, give it a like, let people know where this podcast is so we can help everyone become a better marketer, practitioner, whatever it is. Until next time, folks, make sure you're yakking a lot.